There's my friend.
He looks like he's on a mound of garbage. He looks like he's on a mound of garbage. He looks like he's on a mound of garbage.
Anyway. Anyway. My friend came back. What the heck? What in the heck? What in the heck?
He looks like he's on a mound of garbage. He looks like he's on a mound of garbage. He looks like he's on a mound of garbage.
Yeah, it was like 8 seconds long, so it wouldn't upload for me. So I took my grandson's Kindle and I recorded it on his. Oh wait, okay, yeah. And then I am recording right now on mine. Slick, right? There's a ways to get around these things. Yes, indeed I do. Okay, so the last time I was on, I said I would, next time I'd be on, I would show you the transformation underneath the oak tree, which I did. It was a process. This seems, there we go. It was that simple. Wow. Anyway, I hope everybody had a nice Mother's Day. I had to show you my friend that's been visiting me. That rocking chair's for a big, big man. My feet dangle in it. Now I wanted you to see my friend, Hootie. Hootie. No, his name isn't Hootie. I gotta think of a name though, because she or he keeps coming around. That was the first time Jerry seen it. And he was talking about capturing it and putting it in a freaking cage and shit. It's like, fuck you ain't doing that to him. No freaking way. This is my friend that comes and goes. And you just go clean up your garbage heap in your room. And leave my friend alone. Okay. So anyway. I have been calling it Hootie. Hootie. So, as you can see, guys, I opened up the garage. And I moved out the table and lots of my plants. And oh my god, it was just such a mess in there from the winter. All the nasty rugs that were, ugh. And just, you know, when you're trapped inside, garbage collects. And it's cold. So I got my table out, and this is where we spent yesterday. I hadn't seen my son in a very long time, so it was actually very, very enjoyable to see him and his wife. And they went to Florida, and they brought me back some shells and sand and a plant for Mother's Day. But I told you the next time I came on, that whole area underneath the oak tree would be transformed, and I did transform it, and I'm going to take you over there to show you. And I want everybody to guess how many bags of mulch it took to fill that in. And whoever guesses correctly, and I won't cheat, you know, there is a number. If you guess it or closest to it, I will mail you a surprise. That is, if you trust me enough with your address and all. So I'm not going to tell you how many it took. You have to guess. So, anyway. Broke out the fire pit last. That's where a lot of my plants that were inside the garage. We'll go up front before we go over to the transformation. So I brought them outside, and I decided to put the grape plants up here, which I haven't got them in the ground yet, but at least they have a spot where I'm gonna put them. Out back, there's just too much animal activity, and I mean, they made off with grapes out front, so I definitely wouldn't get any grapes if I put them back there. So I decided to put them up front here. They'll be in the ground here by the end of the night, that's for sure. So I got these two are the white Lakemont and the Sulfic seed. They're both seedless. And then over here, I already had a grape plant in the ground from last year, which I believe is a Concord. So I went ahead and, put the two Concords right here. And right here is the one that I put in last year. And I planted some sweet peas right here. I have not had luck with sweet peas. And I'm going to grow sweet peas if it's the last thing I do. I'm serious. Why doesn't this work with me, guys? What did I put in the barrel? Drum roll, please. And come on. Really? Okay, so I decided to go with stuff that actually comes back every year, and so I did a peppermint all the way around the outside, and then the false spirea. These get flowers on top, and they get big. They get pretty big and spread out. So once it starts getting full, I can, you know, dig a little bit out and move that out into the ground. But in the bare spots, like all around in here, I put marigold seeds that I collected from last year. And let's see, I didn't do a whole lot up here because that was actually a major project, doing that, filling that in and landscaping that. It was a pretty big project. And so it was like it was like 3 days altogether. I mean, not constant, but I did it Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And so here we go, guys. Once it gets all established, the stuff that I planted, it's gonna be so pretty. It's going to be a little rose garden, herb garden. I'm gonna take you out here first, because I moved all that stuff where the corn's gonna be. I dug that out. As you can see, it's all bare over there, or maybe you can't. But everything that was there, I planted here. All along here, except for the salvia and the lemon balm, which I started from seed. And see those things that look dead? They're not dead. They're living. Those are climbing rose bushes. And guess where I got them? The dumpster. But the moron that dug these up if they're trying to get rid of rose bushes for, oh my god, you freaked me out!
I was here the whole time when you picked up my scooter. I was like, here.
Were you waiting for me to come over?
Yeah.
Were you gonna scare me?
Not really.
Well, you kind of creeped me out.
Why?
Because I seen you out of my peripheral, and it was like, just like a shadow figure in the tree.
Oh.
It didn't scare me. It just kind of like, what? So anyway, these are climbing rose bushes, and they will crawl as long as they have something to crawl. They'll go 30 feet. So what I decided to do is, once they start getting big enough, see this oak branch right here? I will train them with some twine to go up and over, and even maybe crawl on it. But the people that dug them out, yeah, they're going to come back, because they basically left all the root structure in the ground. I mean, they just butchered it. They just were trying to get rid of them and threw them in the dumpster. And yeah, it's funny. It'll take several years for them to get that way, a couple of years. But I bet you in a couple of years, 2 years tops, it'll reach up and over this oak branch. And so you gotta have a good look. Now, you remember where I did have the mulch, so you gotta take account. I did put some new mulch over that though. So when you're guessing, remember how it was. I mean, because that was all bare. And that was all bare. Weeds and dirt patches. And I put this little fence line around it, but I left an opening to come in. Boop. It's my little rose garden with other things. This is a yellow rose bush, and behind it is some pineapple sage, and it really smells like pineapple. And these particular rose bushes are seriously low maintenance. You don't have to deadhead to get roses. They just keep providing you roses. And that's just a regular red rose bush, a tea red rose bush. And this one's pink, same kind, it's a tea rose bush. And then red, oh wait, no, pink. It goes red, pink, pink, red. Yeah. And that's the same as the one that doesn't have to get deadheaded. And this is just a miniature rose bush. When I got it, it was on sale because the blooms were pretty much dying off, but no big deal. I could see that it'll be beautiful. And so I only went, because I put that lining down on the ground, and so that spearmint there, if it spreads, it's going to go towards the oak tree, because the mulch that was down doesn't have lining underneath it. So it'll go towards the oak tree, but it won't come this way. So what I did for right here is I went to about here with the plastic, so that it can come this way, grow, the lemon balm and the mint can grow this way, and it'll start traversing down that fence line, and pretty soon it'll just be like a mint fence and lemon balm. And all that pot of zucchini, I started separating it, and there was a lot of zucchini plants in here, and some of them are not happy at all, but we'll see. I mean, that does not look happy, but if it makes it, it makes it. If it doesn't, I mean, there's a lot of zucchini here. Lots of zucchini. It's probably it's probably too close together actually, but it's not as close as it was in that pot, that's for sure. Because these plants get big. Big, big, big. Okay. And something I noticed about the daisies and the hostas that I planted last year along that fence line is I was having a problem of when we get hard rains, the mulch like washing down. It acts like as a natural barrier to keep the mulch in. So what I am going to do is I'm going to take some more hostas. I might take all of them out of there and do something else over there and put them. I'm going to put them over here to act as a natural barrier like these daisies to keep the mulch in and keep this wall from eroding. I mean, that's what this is all about, really. This wall is coming down and I have to do something about it. And so I'm going to take them hostas and plant them like right, you know, like the daisies over there. From here over, going, and then over to the daisies. And I have enough to do that back there. And that will act as a barrier to keep, see how the mulch just washes down onto the ground and into these little holes. And so that'll stop that and keep this standing. That's the deal. This is one of those moonflowers. And I planted, that just came up on its own, but I collected the pods and sprinkled them over there. So I need to be careful when I'm doing the hostas. See, they're coming up. I planted some from the backyard already, and they just take a little longer because they don't get quite as much sun. But I think that'll be a nice barrier, them hostas. And they don't really like a lot of sun either, to be honest. And let's see, yeah. And I planted that. I took little starts of that from over there and put it all along there, and it just took off. So I put some more down, and I want it to travel all the way up there. I got some more to put there, but it'll be thick as thieves in a month. It will. And some of, I'll show you the kind. I can't remember. I got the tags inside, but I can't remember what these are called. Right here. A couple of them died. I have 3 of them left. This one has a little bit of growth on it. Didn't look too hot though, but actually they didn't really like it over here. It's just too much sun. The hostas. And so the corn will be here. I still haven't even filled that in. Yeah, it's a mess. But as soon as because the corn's in the back germinating, as soon as they sprout and are at least about 1.5 inches, 2 inches, I'll go ahead and put them in the ground. I'll put them in the ground. I can't remember. Did I tell you that? Yeah, everything came over there except for the lemon balm I started, and the stuff that makes you trip balls if you have balls. This stuff here. People are smoking it and freaking out. Salvia. I tried it once because my son, I told you about that, he was arrested and brought home for running down the street naked. So I had to see what it was all about. because it's not like my son to do something like that at all. Not at all. And I can't remember if I told you about those flowers up there were a gift for Mother's Day. But my son and his wife and daughter got them for me. And there's still plenty of room to put more stuff in there. Definitely plenty of room. I mean, you don't want to totally overcrowd it, but I mean, there's still plenty of room for. And I put a small layer over this, but that's not included in this area. So it's just from here over to where but actually I added new on that too, so no, it's just this area that you have to guess how many bags it took. Yeah, because there's a lot of room here to put stuff. I want to get some ferns because they love the shade, and put it like on the, really nestle it in tight to the oak tree in between the hostas. And some things that like partial shade, partial sun. So what do you think, guys? How many bags of mulch? And over here I planted some more chamomile seeds from the transplants that I dug up, and they're looking really good, and it's popping good everywhere. It's popping good. I can't tell if you can see. And then what I decide to put here, yes, I took down that monstrosity of a thing and I planted asparagus seed and root, wild root. So that will come back every year, the wild asparagus, which is kind of a purplish dark green. And then the stuff that's up I started in a pot during the cold months several times, and the fungus flies kept eating them, but these survived. And I forgot to tell you, there is potatoes on the other side of the fence line too, so all along this side and that side. And the arugula is just, phew! I mean, I can't tell because the sun is so bright if it's blacked out or not. But I also forgot to tell you that there's a row of parsnips too. Parsnips. And, okay, squirrel, you assholes. They like to come and dig my seeds up and eat them. So yeah, all these hostas I'm going to utilize over there. I don't think I'm gonna even leave any here. And what I'm gonna do, cause this is all the echinacea. This is all echinacea, and then the cornflowers in the back. So I have, I've already laid down one bag of wildflower seed back in this corner. And I have another bag. I had 2 bags, but I gave one to my son. But I'm gonna lay that out where I dig this up and cover it up. Cause the echinacea gets so tall, and it's been like going in between. I've been digging it out and putting it other places, but they just get overrun basically. The echinacea towers over it and you just can't see its beauty. I think they'll like it way better out there, and they'll look way better out there. Oh, it opened up. Opened up. I need to get those cucumbers in the ground. There's an echinacea, I just put it in there. That's where the, what was in it? Oh, the scarlet beanpole runners that didn't make it because of the black fungus flies. Okay, and up here today I planted some garlic along there. And I still haven't got that mint over here. I'm going to put it in this box over here with the rest of this mint that's already going. Because I have so many containers of mint right now. Oh, and this was I just did this so it looks sad, but it's a strawberry that I dug up over there that just popping out of some bird's butt and onto the ground. And I haven't figured out what to put there yet. I don't know, any suggestions? Post it with your guess of how many bags of mulch it took to transform this weed riddled dust bucket. You know, it really sucked because, you know, the weeds would grow tall and it looked like crap, but it was so many bare patches, but so you'd have to go out and mow it, and the dust, if it hadn't been raining for a while, the dust would just be flying everywhere and get into the carburetor of the motor, and it's just bad, you know. And if you weed whack it, it was just a pain in the butt. So this is gonna work out much nicer. Yeah, my friend is not going to become some caged bird. No way. I want him to come and go as he wants. I can force some beautiful animal like that to be mine. He's not mine. He's my friend. And I'm not going to let him do that. I'm not going to let him do that. But he's a young one. He's not very old. I tried giving him an egg. I mean, that's why the birds are chasing. I think they eat eggs, or is it just the baby birds? I'm not really sure. I remember going as a young kid. I loved to go perking. That's what we call exploring. And we go to these old abandoned barns, and we'd go there to hunt for owl pellets and break them apart and try to assemble the skeletons together to see what it was. And can you imagine kids these days doing something like that? No, they're glued in front of a screen, kind of like me now. Yep. That is the update, folks. So the next time I'm on, I will have this section over here done. I'm going to start working my way outward. I've already started making kind of a barrier type thing. And I'll be using the like all natural forest mulch right there. The zucchini plants, I didn't put any mulch down over them. You know, I don't even know if I need to worry about this actually. You know what I mean? It could be all natural. So I love my little sitting area, my dumpster dive. And see how it matches kind of the table, the wicker. I love sitting out here and chilling. Actually, I went and got beer yesterday. I'm gonna have one. The last time I had a beer was you seen me pop it open in that one video. I had pina coladas yesterday. If you like pina coladas, I mean pina coladas.